now, from the Department of Agriculture, a number of interesting facts. Do you know the tremendous task it is to feed the millions of American people? And when our population reaches 230 million, farmers and ranchers must produce 3.7 billion pounds more meat, 16 billion quarts more milk, 7 million tons more fruits and vegetables, 17 billion more eggs.
Now, let's see. How many are coming over for dinner Friday? At least 7, maybe 9, perhaps 10. And who knows, even 12. Oh, now, will this be enough food? Hello?
Hi, Alice. Betty. Hey, you sound beat.
Oh, just the shopping list blues. Numbers, numbers, numbers. All this bookkeeping just to eat?
That's why I'm calling. How about meeting me at the new food market? It opens today.
Oh, okay, I'll try. And for Sunday dinner, Aunt Liz, Uncle Harry, and maybe the twins.
3.7 billion pounds
Making
more meat.
1,
16 billion quarts
2,
more milk.
4.
7 million tons
6
more
of
fruits
us.
and vegetables.
So should I get a 15-pound turkey?
230 million.
Or a 10-pounder and a 10-pound ham?
17 billion more eggs.
Numbers, 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 numbers. Good morning.
You're the first customer, Miss Alice.
I have a long shopping list.
You've come to the right place.
Warehouseman and retailer and transporter. Isn't today the grand opening? But the shelves, they're all empty. But why?
A number of reasons, Alice. A number of reasons. A number of reasons.
Food processor? Maybe you can help me. Why isn't there any food in the market?
When we don't have numbers, Alice, we don't know how much food to put up. We gotta have numbers.
No numbers, Alice, 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 no numbers.
Here it is. Here comes the food. Empty. Are all of them empty? What a situation.
I'll say so. Well, Alice, my dear, I guess it's evident how much I'm needed around here.
Who are you?
Who am I?
Mr. Numbers.
Chief statistician, number getter, counter-upper. Mr. Numbers, at your service.
Thank you.
Mr. A. Numbers, to be exact.
Alexander.
Agriculture. Family name, you see. Handed down for, more than 100 years now. Mr. Agriculture Numbers. A rather nice heritage, don't you agree?
Oh, real solid. But who exactly do you work for?
For you, my dear. You and the many people in agriculture who in turn work for you. 23.1 million to be exact. We're all working for you, you and your shopping list.
Crazy.
Oh, and incidentally, Alice, on the subject of numbers, you're a pretty important number yourself.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Numbers.
Alice, you're number one. You're the consumer.
Crazier. Oh, by the way, have you forgotten this, my shopping list?
On the contrary, it's my number one consideration.
Numbers, numbers, numbers. That's all I seem to hear. After all, Mr. Numbers, my family and I can't eat numbers.
True, my dear, true. You don't eat numbers, but you do eat by numbers. Suppose I show you. Now, the whole idea is to keep this thing balanced.
I see. Balanced with Alice's demands and supplies for Alice.
That's right.
Does the scale ever get balanced?
We keep trying. With numbers, Alice, with numbers. I'd like your demands, if I may. Now, suppose we try to match your demand numbers with supply numbers. And where do we go first?
To Mr. Farmer, USA?
Come with me, my dear, and look through your looking glass. Dear Mr. Farmer, enclosed, please find Alice's shopping list. How much can you provide for her? So, Mr. Farmer gets busy with his crop report and writes down numbers. 240 acres planted, 1,000 pounds of this, 600 bushels of that, 24 head of this, numbers of that, numbers of this, numbers and more numbers. Oh, we could go on and on. But in short, Mr. Farmer is telling us how much food he can provide for you and your shopping list. Of course, next year it might be a different story.
How come?
Any number of reasons. Too much rain, not enough rain, too many insects. Well, again, we could go on and on. In any event, that's why we have shortages and abundances. And the prices you pay change.
Oh, that's why.
Alice, your shopping list. His crop report. We'll need copies of this. The very latest in numbers, Alice.
Thank you.
Okay, men, the very latest in numbers.
Ah, numbers at last, 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 numbers at last.
Not quite so much beef. Lots of turkey. Milk as usual.
I told you, Alice, you eat by numbers. Everything works by numbers. Look. Meanwhile, you see, Mr. Processor is busy with his numbers. How much packaging materials does he have? Is there enough food for him to process? How much food can he turn out? Oh, Alice, the numbers of Mr. Food Processor are very important. Very important indeed. Now, Alice, just you watch. Your shopping list is about to come to life. Here's all your steak, and your 10-pound ham, your bacon. Alice, are you checking your list?
Oh, mercy. golly, I'm starting to work up an appetite.
Patience, my dear, patience. Before you can get all your food, it must travel, oh, any number of miles. From any number of processing plants to any number of warehouses. Mr. Warehouseman also works with numbers. Is the food arriving from the expected sources? A number of sources. And then when it does, it must be stored for, well, a number of days. Perhaps a number of weeks, even a number of months, in a number of places, at a number of temperatures, until it's ordered by Mr. Retailer.
And on that order for Alice? Yeah. 2 large porterhouse steaks, 3 pounds of round steak.
And you know how your market would look if he didn't busy himself with numbers.
Yes, I know. Empty.
Well, Alice, not now. Your food will be at the market before you know it.
What an amazing system.
But you're about to see perhaps the most important part of all.
More numbers, Mr. Numbers, more numbers.
More numbers indeed. We delight in numbers. We get thousands of these reports from farmers, food processors, warehousemen, and retailers everywhere. Now, we must tabulate all these numbers and make them available to everyone who needs them.
It gets curiouser and curiouser.
Oh, yes, Alice, we publish reports like this all the time. As numbers change, so our reports must change. The phone, Alice, the phone. Your food is at the market.
Hello?
Alice?
Oh, Betty. Where are you, at the food market?
Yes.
Well, tell me, do they have food for sale?
Do they have food for sale? Of course.
Any number of things. I know all about numbers now.
Moral, Alice? Man does not live by bread alone. He also lives by numbers. Now let that be food for thought.